G'day everyone. So in this example, we're going to be finding pronumerals in trigonometric equations, specifically looking at solving for the denominator. Okay, so first we will go through this first example, and what you do whenever you get the triangle first is label your sides. So first we have adjacent at the top, we've got opposite here and hypotenuse there. Okay, so hopefully from our first one we can see that we have to use adjacent and hypotenuse to work out x. Okay, adjacent and hypotenuse, hopefully you realize that's our cos. So cosine theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Hopefully you remember how to set these up. So our cosine of 29 is equal to our adjacent, which is 7, and our hypotenuse is x. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to get x by itself. So what we do is we multiply both sides by x, and then this gives us x times cosine 29 is equal to 7. Then we need to divide both sides by cosine 29. Okay, to get x by itself. So x here is equal to 7 over cosine 29. Just make sure you're doing this correctly on your calculator, and hopefully when you do this, this gives you a value of 8.00 rounding to 2 decimal places. Okay, so that's how we do example A. One thing I just want to show you right now is we can actually sort of skip these 2 steps here once you get practice. So hopefully you notice the difference between our first equation here and this equation here. All the difference is we're actually swapping these 2 variables over. Okay, so that's what these 2 steps actually do. It just swaps them around. So in our next example, I'm just going to show it by swapping these 2 around, but what I'm actually doing is these 2 steps here. Okay, this just saves some time once you've got some practice on these equations. So we'll do question B here. We'll label our sides. So we have our 71 degrees here, so 22 is opposite that, x is adjacent to it, and y is the hypotenuse. So firstly, we'll figure out x. So we'll look at x. X is involving opposite and adjacent, so that means we're going to be looking at this here, tawa. So tan of 71 is equal to our opposite, which is 22, over our adjacent, which is x. So what I'm actually going to do here is just swap these 2 around, okay, from doing those 2 steps before. So this actually gives us x is equal to 22 on tan 71. Okay, and this here, once you put it in your calculator and get your answer, it should equal 7.58. Okay, so just make sure that you are doing that and getting the correct answer on your calculator. Make sure you're putting it in correctly, because that's a very common area. Now let's find y. I'll do this in a different color. If it comes up, here we go. We'll do this in dark blue. Alright, so here we'll find y. So let's set up this one, y, and using O and H, okay, the opposite and the hypotenuse. So this is sine. So sine of 71 is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, so 22 over our hypotenuse, which is y. Sorry. So with this, I'm just going to swap these 2 over. Just doing those 2 steps that I said before. Y is equal to 22 on sine 71. So when you work out this, y then should hopefully equal 23.27 once you put it into your calculator. So this is how we actually work out trigonometric equations or trigonometric values with a unknown denominator, so solving for our denominator. Okay, so hopefully this helps with working out these problems, and